Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, to Chiefs Latest, your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. It is your host, Calvin Silver's Happy Monday start of the week, and it is off to a fast one for Kansas City. Some big news Sunday. A player who wasn't away from the team that long is making his return. We're about to dive into it, but before we do, you know the drill. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on those notifications because we have daily, that's right, daily videos Monday through Friday here at Chiefs Latest. You don't want to miss any of the news or rumors regarding the Kansas City Chiefs, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, as it not only helps me in the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we know that the Chiefs, they're not quite done with the trade lines right now before the start of the 2025 season. Last week, we saw a trade with the San Francisco 49ers where the Chiefs sent them Sky Moore in return for a late draft pick. But now, again, the lines are staying hot for the Chiefs as they bring back defensive tackle Derrick Nnadi from the Jets. Nnadi left Kansas City in free agency this offseason. Again, returns as a familiar face after a 7-year stay. He was drafted back in 2018 in the third round with the Chiefs. The deal's light, a 2027 conditional 6th or 7th round pick. That's a swap. So another low-risk trade for the Chiefs, but I'm not convinced that, again, this moves the needle for the defense in the bigger picture, in the bigger scheme. At 27, his durability, 115 games, 3 Super Bowls, that's a plus. But his 2024 season was quiet, dismal, just 11 tackles and a career low 221 snaps. His PFF grades of, get ready for this, overall PFF grades of 37, 41.4, and 40.8 over the last 3 years. That backs up the eye test here. He's a well below average run stopper, and he's definitely not a game changer. With rookie Omar Norman-Lott, he's sidelined right now by an injury. Nadi's return for the Chiefs is more of a, tackle depth piece in case you do have another injury or you don't want to rely on lesser experience or pro-ready options. When it comes to the run defense, his nose tackle experience, that bolsters early down run defenses alongside Chris Jones and Mike Pennell. Again, it offers some quality over unproven options that you have right now in that room. So yes, bringing back Nnadi is a low-cost deal. It's a low-cost move for the Chiefs' run defense. But it's not the splash play needed to elevate Spag's unit. I mean, we saw them get ran over by the Seahawks just 2 weeks ago. And I don't think this moves elevates it at all. So, honestly, what does this trade do for the Chiefs? Does it do anything? I think it just opens up more questions than it does anything else. Because I'm just scratching my head over why the Chiefs traded for Nnadi when they could have just waited. He's likely going to be released from the Jets. They just signed him on a measly $1.4 million, so they are able to leave and move away from him. And not only that, the Jets brought Nnadi in to, yes, bolster their line, but undrafted free agents have now leapfrogged him on their depth chart. His roster spot is shaky on the Jets before Tuesday's cut line. You probably could have just waited. So why burn the 2027 6th-round pick we got for Sky Moore? It honestly just feels like we flipped Moore for Nnadi. Or Kansas City should have just re-signed him back in March. That $1.4 million deal was barely above the veteran minimum. It wasn't some blockbuster trade, some high number amount that the Jets were going to outbid Beach for. So to me, Nnadi screams like an injury replacement if something were to happen. Again, especially after his career low 11 tackles in 2024 in just 17 games. But he has that experience at both defensive tackle spots. He's got deep knowledge of Spag's system. He brings stability. And not only that, I think he does add some kind of confidence, or at least boost some confidence, again, alongside Jones and Pennell. You have someone that has experience, knows the system, has been with you through the trenches, has gone to 3, you know what I mean? So I'm sure there is some kind of confidence that brings to just knowing that there is a guy that you could turn to that has been through this. I have no confidence, though, especially from last season. 17 games, 11 tackles, only 3 solo, 8 assists. Yes, he's familiar with Spag's scheme. And his role as a run stopper next to Jones, next to Pennell, adds depth, especially with Norman-Lott's injury. But the trade feels like overpaying for a player that they could have just waited for, could have had for free, or you could have just re-signed. So again, I think this trade just brings more questions than anything to me at least. Let me know what you guys think here in the comments, but let's keep it going and let's just add on to the fun here because as I mentioned on Friday's episode, that the Chiefs are looking to add into their running back room. At least that was the rumor. And over the weekend, Tyler Algier from the Falcons, his name has emerged as a potential trade target to beef up the ground game. Kansas City missed out on Washington's Brian Robinson, who I said, you know, it's kind of the same as Pacheco, honestly. Maybe not would have moved the needle up all that much, but he went to the 49ers for a 6th-round pick. And again, fans are drooling over Breece Hall, but the Jets aren't budging. At least that's what they're saying. They have no plans on trading him or they don't want to. But Algier, a less splashy name, he does offer some upgrade at a similar low cost. He has proven production. He was, had over 1,000 yards back in his rookie season. And then he probably could have reached that again, but he went to a backup role when they brought in Bijan Robinson. So he's been a backup the last 2 years, but he still averaged 4.4 yards per carry on a so-so Atlanta defense. Nothing special. So he can grind out some tough yards. 47 catches on 52 targets, 0 drops across 3 seasons. Hey, that makes him a reliable safety valve for Mahomes. A safety check down. We saw the Chiefs, which I'll get to here in a second. They were trying to throw to their running backs in the preseason game. It would be nice to have his hands on this team. 5'10", 225 pounds, Algier's tackle-busting frame, 85.7 PFF rushing grade. That was 12th last season. That could give the Chiefs the between-the-tackles power that they've lacked or that they've been trying to reach. Last season, 644 yards, 3 touchdowns, 85.7 PFF rushing grade. Remember, he had to be a backup. Stocky build, power running style, adds physicality to complement Pacheco, adds and complements Smith's versatility when they trust him. Again, has sure hands as well. Could be used in 3rd down, have some reliability there. So trading for Algier, a proven 1,000-yard rusher with soft hands, that could transform this Chiefs run game. It could give you that between the tackles grit, that between the tackles play that you need or that you've ignored for so long. But again, is he even worth it now? Is it worth losing another pick after you just spent one on Derrick Nnadi? I don't know, but this was a name that came up over the weekend as a potential addition for the Chiefs. But I did want to talk a little bit about Friday's preseason game, just kind of my thoughts, my opinion. I'm just glad that Matt Nagy, Andy Reid were letting Patrick Mahomes fire on all cylinders. They were letting him loose. They were letting him get a good amount of snaps. Whether you agree with that or not, I thought it was good. Of course, when he was sprinting there, we were all yelling for him to slide down. But I just like seeing the starters get some meaningful reps before the first week of the regular season. Offense, as I mentioned earlier, slick, throws to the wide receivers, throws to the running back. They were able to spread the ball to different receivers all across the field. Mahomes had some nice, rock-solid pass protection, especially on the left side. We love to see that. Tyquan Thornton, Jimmy Holiday, they were getting open downfield. That's what's important. These weren't, just 10, 15-yard catches. No, 50-yard catches downfield, just able to use their speed to get behind the defense. It's going to be a nightmare for some defenses that the Chiefs can keep this up. If you look at the entire preseason, the number 1 offense, when all starters are playing for the Chiefs, they've had 23 plays for 24 points. Again, across the preseason, but still, that's amazing. If you just look at Friday's game, a flawless first quarter, 193 yards and 10 points. It's a scary sign for the league. And defensively, Spags' unit clamped down. They held Chicago starters to 26 yards, forcing 2 punts, and they notched a sack while keeping the Bears at 2.9 yards per play. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, they dominated up front. Juju Smith-Schuster, he looks as healthy as he has been in a while. And Jaden Hicks, he's going to be used at all levels in the defense, and his versatility at safety, it stood out and it looked good. But looking at this offense in the first quarter, the starters, 12 first downs, 0 penalties, 193 yards, 10 points, and Mahomes, 11-plus yards on every passing attempt. The deep ball focus with Thornton, Holiday's 50-yard grabs. Again, that signals the intent, and that signals that the Chiefs want to stretch defenses vertically. They've been preaching it all offseason, all preseason, and it's finally starting to show. So, a near-perfect Chiefs offense and a stingy defense on Friday. At least the starters. Now, that defensive depth, especially, once you start getting down a little bit, that's scary. But at least the starters look good, and our offense looked fantastic. Fantastic. Well, that is all that I have for you guys on this lovely Monday. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Derrick Nnadi trade. Do you agree with it? Do you think as well that the Chiefs should add to the running back room? And I want to know your thoughts and opinions on Friday's preseason game before we head into the regular season. Again, I am your host, Calvin Silvers. You are listening to Chiefs Latest. And until next time, have a good one.